Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Darren Ganji, and I'm here with my good buddy, Sean Cole.
Hey, everybody. It's been kind of lonely around here without you.
Yeah, and we've had some comments about it, actually, and I admit you have looked a little lonely on the show. But great to be back on the show, and we're here to bring you a Xbox 360 wheel buyer's guide.
Absolutely.
So all of you out there have a controller, so we don't need to talk about that, and actually Forza works pretty good with a controller.
Yeah, I mean, they have it so it works well, and that controller is one of my favorite hand controllers, but when it comes to racing, I mean, you got to use a wheel.
Yep.
So we're going to kind of go right from the controller and move on to maybe the first step in wheels, which would be...
Start at the base. Yeah, we're going to start at the base.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of wheels coming out, too, so just getting a good idea of what you could choose from when getting into Forza 4.
That's actually what I wanted to say, too, is that there's lots of options available now, where 2-3 years ago, this was it. You know, and then came the Turbo S from Fanatec, and now there's some more options. Madcatz, Thrustmaster, and again, starting with this. Why don't you tell them a little bit about this one,
This
Sean?
is Microsoft's new wireless speed controller, or speed wheel, I guess, and it is completely wireless, and it's not a Connect type device. This is just a wireless device, and it works like that, little gas and brake. $59.99, and getting into the wheels, I think this is pretty much your first option when getting to it.
Now, I haven't tried it, but worked pretty good, it looked like, Sean. Looked like it was pretty intuitive.
It actually works. I mean, honestly, when I first saw this, I laughed, make your own joke when looking at it, but honestly, it did work, and it worked rather well. I mean, free of opinion here, but...
Great for the person that wants to get started with something besides the gamepad.
Yeah.
So this gives you definitely more of a driving feel.
And I was playing it from across the room as well, so I mean, you got a lot of freedom there.
Next we have, which is discontinued, you can still get them though. I looked on eBay yesterday, tons of availability, ranging anywhere from $60 for probably a pretty used set, up to, I think, actually just shy of 200 I saw some for. This comes with the wheel, the pedal set, and this is the Xbox 360 wireless racing wheel, and this was by Microsoft. We actually reviewed this, I don't know, almost 2 years ago now. Decent, decent starter set. Pedals are okay.
A lot to be desired in the pedal
Yeah, and
department.
again, this isn't a review, but hey,
It's
cheap
an
to
option.
get started. Force
Sure.
feedback, 270 degrees of rotation, all the Xbox 360 buttons you need, and again, a good affordable solution to somebody that wants to start and step up from this for sure.
Absolutely. There are also two wheels that we don't have here on the table in front of us, and the first one is from Madcatz, and that's actually their new wireless 360 wheel, which I haven't seen. It's under $250, and to be perfectly honest with you, it looks sort of like a carryover from this wheel.
It does. I would almost guess that they bought the technology from Microsoft and made their own wheel with it.
And somehow they didn't make any improvements here in the pedal department.
And honestly, we can't say they haven't sent us a set. Madcatz, if you're watching, send us a set to review. We'd like to check it out.
Been trying to get one here.
Yep, we've tried. We have definitely tried and have not been successful at that. And the other option is a non-force feedback wheel by Thrustmaster. Looks a lot really similar to the cockpit that we tested a while back.
Yeah, like another bungee wheel, perhaps?
Yeah, Thrustmaster, we love you, but I don't know. I guess it's good for the base. Again, we're not reviewing it here. $89.99. Non-force feedback, so again, if you just want, probably similar to this actually has vibration and stuff though.
Yes.
But decent, at least you have pedals and you got the feeling that you're driving, and if you like that Ferrari branding, I guess it's a must-have too.
So now let's move on to the Fanatec lineup, and there's been a lot of confusion over the CSR wheel, but let's start things off with the 911 wheel.
Yeah, there definitely has been some confusion. I've even questioned people in the industry that I thought might be clear as to what, with this wheel behind us, the Elite, the CSR, I know there's lots to clear up, and hopefully I can do that here.
So why don't we take a quick break? When we get back, we'll cover the 911 wheel, and then I'm going to grill Darren, the Fanatec rep, about the CSR lineup.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing, puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be #1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Welcome back to the show, and now we're going to move into the mid to high-end gear for Forza or for the Xbox 360, or for that matter, most of these are now available for the PC or PS3 as well.
Yep.
So let's start things off with the old 911 wheel, and I got to ask you right out of the gates, is this the last of the Mohicans?
This is actually the last of the 911 wheels for the Xbox 360 that we're going to produce. We're still going to carry this line as an alternative to the CSR, and again, this goes for $250. Xbox 360, PC, and PS3 compatible.
Okay, now this is still a little bit pricey a wheel. Are there any plans in the future of a less expensive Xbox solution from Fanatec?
No, not currently. If you really think about it, on the force feedback end, this wheel with our budget set of pedals, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, the standard Porsche pedals for $30, $280 for a base set to get you going on the Xbox 360. So.
Okay, so next up, and basically at the same price point, we have the CSR wheel, which I just reviewed, and I'll say I love this wheel. Not a review, but I love this wheel.
Yeah, and that's basically the next generation of the GT2 wheel. We've also added the new paddle shifters, lighter wheel rim, so quicker to react, and it's Forza branded.
Okay. Well, speaking of Forza branding, we also have the CSR Elite wheel, which looks very much the same, but is not even in the same league.
Okay, everybody, this is the CSR Elite. This is actually a prototype version. We've actually made some changes to the rim here. We have a rubber rim, which we're going to show you footage of here. Completely made of metal on the inside. It's belt-driven, optical sensor, some other slight changes. The back doesn't have this gloss anymore. We've gone to a rubberized backing. But now, again, this is the Elite. Completely different than these two. Double the price. This one's gonna retail for $500. Not gonna be available till the end of the year. It's just, I'm just gonna say it as a Fanatec rep and as a sim racer, it's an amazing wheel. You're not gonna get anything better on the Xbox 360, that's for sure. Even on the PC and PS3, it's just...
Well, again, this is a wheel that in early testing we've compared to ECCI, to Frex. I mean, you're talking that type of engineering in a wheel that's actually coming at a price point not a whole lot different these. I mean, double the cost, but we're still in the less expensive wheels.
Probably more the high range though, I would say. 500 just for the base. Speaking of which, modular with all of our other stuff. You know, you can get the $30, which I wouldn't recommend if you're gonna spend $500 on a wheel, but you can get the $30 Porsche pedals and hook it up to this wheel. Along with all the rest of the Fanatec lineup of gear is adaptable to this wheel. So the pedals, shifters, all that work with this.
Now, I just want to take another moment to make it so perfectly clear to everybody. This is the CSR wheel, and it has like a 911 style case.
I think the biggest confusion was the rim was the same.
They look almost identical. That one's got the carbon
If you
fiber
can't see the
versus
back,
aluminum.
if you can't see the base and you just hold them up,
Yep.
they look like they could be the same wheel with just a carbon fiber piece there.
Even the same shifters.
Same paddle shifters, but much different base.
Now, are there going to be different wheel options on this one?
Yes, that's where some more confusion has come, and it's, hold on a second here, let me grab it. Yeah, it's based on this wheel,
Let me make some space for you there.
which, this is the Clubsport wheel, which has been showing up on the Fanatec site, on our site, with the formula, quick release. This is not Xbox 360 compatible.
See, no button here. Well, no Xbox button.
Another thing that was just announced was the BMW GT rim.
I know that wheel.
Yeah, which we can now finally show because we came out with a video showing this coming off of a real BMW race car and then going onto this.
That was one of my favorite videos ever.
But before we add more confusion, let's get this wheel out of here because it's not compatible with the Xbox 360. It is only compatible with the PC and PS3. It's our high-end. It's more meant for the PC, to be honest. 111 buttons you can have on the wheel. It's different electronics. The quick release. This does not have the quick release. This is going to have an adaptable wheel. We had a video on that with Andreas and Thomas at Gamescom, showing that this rim does come off, and we will have options. I don't know which ones yet. I mean, personally, I'd love to see a formula rim of some kind, but that's just my preference.
That'd be very cool. Put it in competition with the T500 Ferrari wheel.
Exactly.
Just one thing again. So they're very similar here, but from the back end, this carries like the Clubsport. This is like the Clubsport from here back, other than the Xbox compatibility.
Exactly, and this is called the CSR Elite. $500, it's gonna be for the base, and then you can buy any set of pedals to go with the Clubsports. Any of our pedals will work with this.
Fantastic. Well, we should probably move into pedals, huh?
Let's get on them.
All right. So as you can see, we have a bunch of pedals here to choose from.
And shifters.
Shifters too. All this is Fanatec, so I'm pretty much going to put you on autopilot here.
Okay.
You want to take us through all the pedal options
Sure.
we have?
Starting with the base pedals, the Porsche standard set, $30, $29.95. You know what? It's an okay set. We're not going to go into review. We've reviewed these pedals before, but you know, if you're on a tight budget, you just want to get something to get started on, $30. Yeah. Next up, we have the CSR pedals. Okay, they're not available yet. Also, will be available at the end of the year. These are our base set that are probably going to replace these someday, I would imagine, but $70, $69.95. These are modular, so you can take each one of these out and remount them to your cockpit or whatever. These are a plastic base, mostly made out of plastic. There's some metal parts, but adjustable spring tension, all potentiometers. There's no load cell on this set. And again, $69.95. So next up, we have the CSR Elite Pedals, which is basically the next step up from the CSR pedals, but mostly made of metal, more adjustable, modular. Oh, by the way, invertible.
Yes.
These are also invertible with a kit, separate kit that's $49.95, but it allows you to invert all or any one of those pedals.
Yeah, I saw somebody had left the gas pedal downward like a typical.
We have some images
Porsche.
here we're going to show you guys of it set up just like that. Same with this set. You can do the same exact thing. All three pedals are invertible. All are modular. You can take these out of the base, mount them to your rig. The electronics piece, which is on the back here, can be taken off and also mounted to your rig. So you got a nice set. $149.95 for the CSR Elite pedals. And this only works in conjunction with a Fanatec wheel. Okay, so you have to plug this into the Fanatec wheel, only 8-bit resolution, where this set and the Clubsports can plug into the PC direct with a USB plug and they get you the 10 bits of resolution. Please do not confuse this with the Clubsport line. They are two different lines. Clubsport we're looking at more as the high end for the hardcore PC enthusiast. And then that leads us to the Clubsports, which we've had on the show many times for more than a couple years now, $199.95.
Well, and Forza has some of my favorite clutch and stick shift feeling in all of sim racing.
Yeah, I agree. One of the best modeled clutches.
And that puts us at a point where I need one of these set of pedals no matter what, because I need a clutch to be able to use my shifter. Well, actually, we should probably move into shifters now.
Why don't we? Yeah. So yeah, we have two different sets of shifters now. We have the Porsche Shifter Set, which goes for $29.95. You get a sequential and the 6+ reverse. And then now we have the new CSR Shifter Set, which is basically a step up. Gloss finish, heavier duty handle, heavier weight. Now this set goes for $59.95. So basically you get the shifter, the 6-speed plus reverse, and the sequential for $59.95. Or if you want to just go with the cheaper option, $29.95. So let's say you want a complete base package for Forza. You're on a budget, you want to try to keep it under $300. Well, we can get you pretty close, $308 and some change, not including shipping, with this pedal, these shifters, and that wheel, or the Porsche wheel, the 911 GT2.
Yeah, I mean, a lot to take in, and I'm really glad that we cleared the air on CSR because I myself have been one of those people who are confused. So
yeah, I've been with Fanatec now for 2 months, and I was confused coming in, but now I've got a real clear understanding of our whole line, and hopefully you guys do. Feel free to email me at Darin, D-A-R-I-N, @fanatec.com. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Any of the stuff that we talked about here makes for a great experience on Forza or even on the Xbox 360.
Definitely.
So, you know, needless to say, I'm going to be a little biased towards Fanatec now, but you know, a lot of the other options are a good way to get going.
Well, I'm even a little biased, and that comes down to just freedom of choice. I mean, I want the best tools for the job. I want to drive fast. I love Forza, and being able to use all of these equipment makes it that much better.
Yep. All right, that's going to wrap it up. For Sean Cole, I'm Darin Ganji. We hope you've enjoyed our show. Check our forums inside simracing.tv/forums. Going to have lots of conversation, hopefully, on this little buyer's guide for you, and hopefully you guys can now make a decision on what you might want to purchase to do your racing with. By the way, you got to have a wheel to run Forza. It's just awesome.
It's just too worth it.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Darren Ganji, and I'm here with my good buddy Sean Cole.
Hey everybody.